What's up, guys, and welcome to a very exciting moment where I have a brand new mascara and we're about to do the very first opening. I don't know, there's something about opening a brand new mascara that is just oh, I love it. And you could probably tell I have mascara on my eyes right now. This right now is me going in for my second makeup touch-up. Like, I do everything that is on my face right now. You could probably see it. Foundation, concealer, powder, mascara, eyeshadow, eyeliner, pretty much everything. But then I go in and I do more coats of mascara because I feel like eyelashes make such a difference in what you look like, especially on TV or on camera. And then I'll do some other stuff like bronzer, eyeshadow on the bottom of my eyes. I mean, you'll see it. But the real reason I picked up the camera right now is to preface what is going to be going down later today, because if you guys watched my last video, which if you haven't, you have to go to that for this to make any sense, but it ended on a cliffhanger where Zach and I have been dealing with someone who's complaining that we're making too much noise. Can't even emphasize enough. I cannot emphasize enough that we don't make noise. Like, I just don't know how else to emphasize it other than like we live a very, very just normal life. And then we discovered that the apartment that is complaining that we make too much noise, is the one that's directly below us, has actually been making so much noise. I mean, we knew about the noise. Like, it sounds like taking a hammer and just like hammering the ceiling for weeks. We thought they were yelling at us for being noisy, but the other day, it was Saturday, Zach was playing soccer with my brother. I had been sitting on the couch for a solid 45 minutes, maybe not the best thing in the world for me, but listen, I was having a nice, relaxing Saturday morning and I heard the banging. So how could they be banging at me? Like, I hadn't even gotten up. But I didn't update you on, because this happened Saturday, Zach sent the apartment complex some, what I would call, very sassy emails. Zach, throughout this whole process, I'm learning, is like the sassiest human. And like, Zach is the nicest human. If he gets upset or angry about something, he's not afraid to show it, which I'm the opposite. Someone can like shoot me in the foot and I'm like, oh, it's okay, like, which is a very bad thing. And this is why I think it's perfect to be in a relationship with like the yin and yang, because I think I add some balance of telling him like, calm down a little bit, just a little bit, like, we're gonna be okay. But then he adds the balance of not getting walked all over, which I've spent a lot of my life getting walked all over, because sometimes it's not good to be too nice. So yeah, he sent them this whole email being like, this situation is not okay, that we are getting threatened to essentially be evicted or kicked out, whatever the noise complaint was we got on Friday. When this stuff is going on, we have always been respectful. And by the way, one thing, like, that's a great point, we lived in this complex for 2 years without a single complaint. We were never walking loud or doing anything loud. And then we move into a new unit and suddenly we're the loudest humans ever. No, that doesn't make sense. Like, we have proof that we have been great people. Clearly something's up with the people below us. And as you can see, I'm very heated about this situation. Zach is way more heated than me. Like, oh my gosh, when he comes on the vlog later today, guys, I'm gonna have to maybe give him, like, I don't know, a sedative, some green tea maybe, because he is very heated. But it really is a very annoying situation when you're accused of something that you're not doing. And actually, that's something that is one of my worst fears, and also something that I have a recurring nightmare over, of me being accused of something I didn't do. And actually, in my nightmares, it's the worst case scenario, is murder. Honestly, guys, whenever I do my makeup in front of the camera for you, I feel like it ends up actually looking horrible, because the way I have to set up my camera, my mirror is so far away and I can barely see myself. Like, it doesn't look the best, but I do it for you guys. And I've actually been having a nice, relaxing Zen. What is that sound? And I've actually been having a nice, relaxing Zen morning. I'm listening to the Oprah Super Soul podcast with Tom Brady, her interview. Zach's mom recommended this for me and I am loving it. Tom Brady, one of the most fascinating humans to me. Just someone with that much motivation, determination, discipline. Like, it's very, very, very interesting to me. Any interview or documentary or book about Tom Brady, I will read it. And also, oh my gosh, Oprah Winfrey. I want to be her. She's the best interviewer ever. Like, whenever a subject, I mean, it sounds so like clinical, but whenever a person is just kind of giving her a wishy-washy answer, maybe getting off track, she'll just interject and be like, boom, and like clarify her question even more. And that's just so ballsy and just like, that's what we want. We don't want to listen to this dumb wishy-washy answer. So she's so freaking good. Time for me to go talk about railroad tracks.
Hey Sheila, the first sign that this project is a pretty big deal is the cost of it. Are you ready for this? $777,000.
All right, what's up, internet? We're back again to talk about our big fiasco now with the new place. We had the floodgates of 2020 and now we have the noise complaints of 2021. Have you shown them the Clancy? Clancy. Clancy.
Yeah.
You guys have been on this journey with us. We were hoping things would get resolved. They slide us that noise complaint into our door, the official one, threatening to get evicted if we keep making noises, which was just outrageous. I mean, I couldn't even believe that they did that. And in the last vlog, we were having a nice date night. We cooked in. I think Clancy showed you the note. We hadn't had a date in a while where we cook. We just relax, just us two. We haven't done that in a while, so I asked her if we could do that. It was great. And then we go to lay down on the couch, put on a movie, Crazy Stupid Love, which is a great date night movie. Then we just hear bass, like loud club level sound. I mean, it was shaking our floors. I open up our window just to see if it's coming from outside, like it was like a car. It wasn't that. I put on my flip-flops to go just see where it's coming from. It wasn't on our floor. And then I go down to the floor below us, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, no way it can be the apartment, the problem child, the headache. I'm coming around the corner and I'm walking down the hall, and sure be it, there it is. The people complaining about us. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe that these people are doing that, are the ones trying to complain that we have, it sounds like there's elephants in our apartment, and they're the ones making the noise. Now this. You don't know who could possibly be that inconsiderate, like, of other people, and that's the scary thing, because I've been trying to come up with a solution. I've been trying to talk to the girls at the front office on what we should do, and they haven't been very helpful, and I've been trying to then just let them know when I'm hearing the noises and things of that nature, where it's just, if I just thought the people below us, they were just reasonable people, I would have knocked on the door. I would have said,
Hey guys, please turn the music down.
There's been this whole noise complaint fiasco. Can we try to just squash this like right now? Obviously, we're not making any noise upstairs. I don't know what the banging noise is that you guys are doing downstairs. Let's just call it even. If you guys keep making the noises, we won't complain about it. Don't make up reasons to complain about us.
And yeah, turn your music down.
I would have done that in a heartbeat. And I was standing there thinking maybe that's what I should do. But I don't know who these people are. They can't think straight, and I'm not being mean, but they can't possibly be people of normal reason if they're lying to the front office about our noise complaints, if they're making those wild noises, and then at midnight on a Friday night are blaring their music through the roof. I would never do that, and I don't think many of you would do that. I mean, if it was your own house, you didn't have neighbors right next door and you wanted to do whatever in your own house and invite people over and have a big party, go for it. I'm not against that. I've been in plenty of places where music's playing really loud, whatever else. And yeah, I mean, there's been some other weird stuff in our building that I don't really feel a need to get into that have been concerning in this building specifically. That makes me, again, even more weary of going and knocking on doors and having people know who I am and getting pissed off at me and this, that, and the other. But long story short, I was trying to set a meeting with the front office lady after the Friday, the music. I said, yeah, I'm free Monday. Do you guys let me know when to come in? They never got back to me. So I just walked into the office and asked to talk to them. Of course, they said I had to come back and they weren't ready to talk to me. And then they just called me 10 minutes later, so they could have talked to me right then, which was just very frustrating. They just didn't want to have to talk to me face to face, I guess. Where I was telling them the scenario, and I mean, we didn't get anywhere. I mean, all she said was she wants to set up a meeting with the two of us, so myself and I guess the girl that lives downstairs, which I'm fine with, but they said she's a long-term tenant and whatever else, and she hasn't had a lot of complaints either, but I want to be cognizant of safety and whatever else. I don't need to go out to my car one day and see it keyed. I don't know. It's just a headache. It's just a headache that you don't want to deal with. We lived in our other apartment building for 2 years, not a single noise complaint, and now I've got to be recording people making noise and all this different stuff for evidence so we don't get evicted. And it's less than ideal, to say the least, and not how one wants to be spending their time. But that's just how it goes sometimes, YouTube. I'll end my rant now. I'm sure no one wants to listen to this any longer. Hopefully this gets resolved soon and we can be talking about more fun content and topics. Until then, I guess we're trying to figure out neighbors and if we're gonna get bounced out of our new place within the first 2 months.
In case you are wondering what Zach's happy place looks like, you are looking at it. He's got the candle lit. He does this himself now. I don't even have to tell him. He's got his nice bottle of wine. But the big key here, guys, the big thing that's causing that little smile on that face, just look at it, is, you guessed it, The Bachelor, his favorite show, but not just any Bachelor. This is the finale. Are you so sad?
It's the big finale for Matt. Hold on tight, people. We've got big 3 hours ahead of us.
Oh my
So,
gosh, you're so
who's he gonna pick? And then it's like the final, what's it? The
after the
tell-all.
final rose. Who on the show, if you could date any of the women, who would it be if I was not in the picture?
That's always such a trap question, YouTube.
No, I'm not trapping you. I'm giving you full permission, a little hall pass.
Oh yeah, full permission. I might have to see a lineup again. It's hard to tell because all I can think about is the last few people. I mean,
What?
I
They're
really
on your
like-
mind constantly?
No. I mean, I really do like this Michelle girl. I've said that multiple times.
Yeah, Zach's been raving about Michelle. To me.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I mean, I think...
This is a subtle
I think
hint.
Michelle is great. There's no lie. I mean, people would say you're great. You are great.
Thank you.
People say I'm great all the time on YouTube, so they're just all great.
Yeah, bye-bye. Some mornings on social media, I am kind, I'm docile, but others, the sass comes out, and this is one of those mornings. So I finally tweeted out something I've wanted to tweet out for approximately like 17 months. This has always been in the back of my head, and it's just, it needed to be said. For everyone who says, but you're from New York, when I complain about being cold, here's a map of New York, a state that spans 300 plus miles. The X is where I am from. Not everyone lives near Canada, because every single time I say I am cold, everyone always says, but you're from New York, why are you cold? And it's like, I don't know, do they think I live all the way up here? Like, yeah, that's freezing, but I am Southern New York. And I thought this was the most clever tweet ever. I thought I was finally gonna shut my haters up. Just kidding, guys, love you. And then Zach just bursts my bubble. He's like, yeah, I wasn't gonna talk to you about that.
I think she just made a new term, Southern New York. Yeah, you're from Southern.
Why? Why is that not a thing? You could be from Southern New York.
Yes, but no one's like, I'm from the southern part of New York. So, Clancy, from Southern New York, everybody, if you didn't know where she was from specifically.
It's a thing.
Tweeted that out, which I wasn't going to say anything to her today because it was going to be nitpicky, and no one likes a nitpicky person.
No,
right?
and you've done this before on my social media.
Yeah, and it's not to be mean. I'm just trying to share with her what people are actually saying when they say, oh, you're from New York, as a Midwestern person, or as anybody probably that's not from the Northeast. Me, I'm a Midwestern person, and if someone goes, oh, I'm from New York, you're instantly thinking the city.
Not everyone, that's you, that's
Not-
your personal
okay.
experience, and it's okay, you're allowed to have your unique experience, but not everyone has that experience.
Not everybody, but most. Anybody from the Midwest or not from that area, comment below. It's like, what's the first thing you think of when someone says I'm from New York? And if it's not New York City, then I'll be proven wrong. Secondly, New York City or Long Island or Southern New York, as they all can be referred to that way, is cold. If I had to guess, the average temperatures in New York City, or let's just say Long Island, where Clancy's from, or Southern New York, would on average be a little bit colder than most places.
I was hoping he was gonna say
No,
that.
no. I'm not saying
Oh.
in Cincinnati, so she's instantly wrong. I would say than most of the United States. I would say it wouldn't fall at the absolute top. It wouldn't fall in the middle. It wouldn't fall at the bottom, obviously.
The thing that makes me the most angry is just because I'm from a cold climate doesn't mean I enjoy being out in the cold. Like, oh, I was born in a cold climate, let me just go make snow angels in a bikini. Like, that just annoys me. So this whole situation.
That's fair.
It just burns my broccoli.
Well, don't burn your or her broccoli. And that's a fair statement.
And actually, I do burn my broccoli every day
Yeah,
on
so
purpose.
that would be a good thing.
But anyway, Zach here wanted to give a little bachelor recap.
Thanks for that soft tap.
Oh, sorry. I am like, I'm so sorry. I am like, what do you? I was like, based on my calculations, my head should have touched his by now. I'm so sorry. I like can be so rough with him, but it's just because you're so cute. Like, do you guys ever have that thing? And did you ever experience this where like a puppy was so cute you wanted to squeeze it?
I mean, I know that's a thing.
Like, it's a thing. Like, and I remember discovering that when I was little. It was my cousin, and I was like, why do I want to squeeze him? And it's because he thought he was so cute. Or no, it wasn't him. God, he's my age. It was his little sister. Anyway, but yeah, Zach wanted to give his little bachelor recap. I gave him permission to talk about the ladies, talk about their, who he thinks is cute. He has full permission. Clearly, I'm not the jealous type.
What's up, YouTube? I pulled up some of the girls. I think we can talk about quick thoughts on maybe a few of them. What we thought of Matt and what we thought about his decisions in the finale. First off, Abigail. Abigail was great. She was sweet, nice. I don't know if we're grading these girls. I'm not going to say like a 1 out of 10 or anything weird like that, but I mean, definitely we'll say approved. Elena, don't remember you, sorry. Alicia, didn't really make a memorable impression. Amber, I feel like I remember her face. Don't remember much. Anna, she made her biggest impression negatively. Unfortunate for her, calling out one of the new girls, saying that she had heard she was a prostitute in Chicago. I don't think Anna was necessarily part of like the whole mean girl culture type thing that kind of started going on, but I do think that was obviously one of the worst things that did happen. Didn't leave a favorable impression. Brie, she was one of the final people. I mean, Brie was great, nice, funny. She's obviously very pretty, which doesn't mean anything on your overall personality, but I was a big fan of Brie. Don't remember Carolyn. Chelsea was great. I mean, I think she said she was a model. Her buzz cut haircut is pretty dope. And the fact that she can pull that off seemed very, very nice. Great personality. I was a big fan of Chelsea. Justina was interesting. She seemed really, really nice. I felt like she never really fit in this season with the girls, and I felt like she lasted longer with Matt than I would have thought, just because I never really saw them like stand out as like a good relationship, but she seemed like she was nice. Katie, she will be the next bachelorette, which is pretty cool. I mean, Katie came out obviously hot. She brought the vibrator to basically the first impression night, which is a bold move. Seemed like she was coming into her own, and she was trying to call out some of the mean girls, which that's never a bad thing whatsoever, to try to make sure everyone's being nice to one another. I was a little shocked that they chose her to be the next bachelorette. Not super, but a little bit. I was a fan of hers. Kit was dope. I mean, she was just cool. She comes from a very artsy, wealthy family in New York City. I mean, she gives off wealthy, artsy New York City vibes. She's super cool. Seemed really, really nice. Young, maybe not quite ready. I mean, she said she was ready to get married, but I don't know. Maybe she just has a few more years of doing her thing, and we'll find someone that just fits her personality, but Kit was great. MJ had some drama this season. She's from Ohio, so I remember paying attention to her. Her and Matt did really get along early on, and then she got kind of caught up in, she said something like, oh, the A team versus the B team, or the starters versus JV. The new girls coming in, which comes off petty, but MJ, just be nice and keep representing Ohio. Piper was great. She had an awesome personality, super just fun and outgoing. Not a negative thing you could possibly say about Piper. I mean, she came off really great. Rachel, I mean, the winner and the girl with all the drama surrounding her, you could tell from the get-go that she was like the front runner. I mean, it's the only person Matt said that he was falling for / I love you. I mean, he said he was falling for other girls, but whenever the girls would say, I'm falling in love with you, Matt would just say something like, thank you for sharing that with me, or something very, very basic, which is hilarious and is reminiscent of something that Clancy said to me when I said I love you to her first. So to all the girls that had that said to them, I can somewhat relate. Sarah, I think, was drama at the beginning, isolated herself from the girls, had a hard time. I mean, the show probably would be tough, and I think maybe her dad was sick or something like that, where that can't be easy either. I don't know what to say about Serena. I felt like she was on the show for too long. This Serena seemed really, really nice and great. I was actually a little surprised she was on the show as long as she was. I didn't see it at the beginning with her and Matt, but obviously she made like the final four. The date with her and the yoga, where like she just wasn't having a good time, kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I think they tried to like over sexualize it, which I think that would be uncomfortable on live television. You know, people are watching and doing those types of positions or whatever, so I could get where that would be uncomfortable, but I didn't think they did anything too far out of bounds where she just like was like straight up not having a good time, where I was just like, relax. And Victoria, we don't even need to talk about her. Why they keep people like her and creating drama just for fun on the show is my #1 complaint. After it's all said and done, Matt obviously picks Rachel as the winner. It was pretty obvious if you watch the show. He really did like Michelle, and Michelle was probably my favorite girl on the whole show. She was great. I mean, you felt that like she was extremely genuine. She was nice. She was funny. A lot of the outtakes was her joking around and just creating funny scenarios. So I'm excited for her to get her whole season. A lot of these girls were great, as I just described, but if anyone was top tier and the best catch, I definitely do think it's her. The final rose, I mean, obviously they brought in that Emmanuel Acho for Chris Harrison with all the drama that was swirling. I'm not going to comment too much on all the drama, but I will say the fact that Matt and Rachel aren't together anymore makes a lot of sense. Didn't seem quite ready to make a full commitment. Obviously, he wanted to continue to date her after the show, and then when some of that stuff came out about some of those photos, the fact that they had called it off and Matt needs some time totally makes sense to me. And then the way Emmanuel Acho handled everything in the show was unbelievable, in my opinion. Like, great, like 10 out of 10. If you could described the way I think in 2021 and how people should be held accountable for different things but not cancel, and like, he described everything exactly how I feel, and I thought he did a great job, and I would not be surprised if they bring him back. I think they talked about a few of the old Bachelor contestants maybe moving forward in Chris Harrison's role, but I could definitely see this Emmanuel Acho having a role within the show just after how great of a job he did last night. He said things such as, just because you have done something racially insensitive doesn't instantly make you a racist, and that he doesn't believe in cancel culture, but he does believe in accountability, which I thought was incredible. While Rachel may not be necessarily a racist, she needs to be held accountable for what she had done in those photos that were incredibly insensitive, and she needs to learn and be held accountable for it, but that he doesn't believe people should just get canceled in 2021, and that's a very popular thing nowadays.
I hadn't watched, obviously I'm back with workout gear on. I hadn't watched the show last night because I had to go to bed, but wow, that's actually really interesting. I didn't know he said all that. And you guys know I didn't watch The Bachelor. Like, I don't really know much about it. It's hard in 2021. You guys know I've talked about it before, though. I'm not into cancel culture. I am into holding people accountable and making sure they actually understand their actions and the implications of them. Like, I'm all for that, but I think if you just cancel someone, if you just give up on them, what's the point? What's the point? They're not going to learn anything. And if you truly want change, you want them to change. You want them to learn, you know? So those are my thoughts, because I know when I was little, and I actually texted my mom this the other day and she was not happy, but I was said to her, like, why did no one teach me about cultural appropriation when I was little? Like, did you learn about that?
Not
I
as
didn't.
much as...
I seriously, like, I didn't know. Some of the things I said were offensive or bad. It was like it was left out of any conversations when I was little, and my mom was mad. She was like, oh, always blame the parents. And I was like, Mom, I'm not blaming you. Even my teachers, why didn't they teach me about that? Like, I guess it just wasn't as much of a conversation, which is sad that it wasn't, because that means people lived a long time without having these conversations, and there were a lot of people who probably lived in fear or just being ostracized, just different things like that. But hopefully this is talked about. I think in schools is like the main thing.
I think there's a lot to learn still in 2021, and I think it's really good that everybody's hopefully starting to talk about it more, and you could just tell how it really affected Matt in the show last night, that the girl that he fell in love with did such a racially insensitive thing, and that it's still a very big problem in 2021 and something that we should be talking about. But I gotta go to the gym, and you have to go to the gym. You're already dressed.
We gotta get swole. That was weird. Okay. All right, Zach is back from his workout, about to dump on some sauce with sushi. I don't know how he eats it, guys. That's raw fish. I just don't understand. And then these things, guys, oh my God, they're so addicting. These Harvest Snaps. He gets the mango chili lime. I'm personally not a fan because I'm allergic to mango, but the original one, so good. But Zach, I need you to repeat to the vlog what you just said to me so they know your true colors.
Yeah, my true colors. So I was meeting my friend Sam to go work out right after we just got done vlogging. I told him like the specific time I could meet him because we had to film. And then when I got there, I was like, hey, sorry, I had to film. And he was like, yeah, no, like, no biggie. And he's like, what'd you have to do? Like, hold the camera? And I was just like, excuse me, what did you just say? Hold the camera? It's like, no, people hold the camera for me. I didn't say that.
Well, you did say, no, I was doing my own segment.
Just told him I had to give a quick, which again, this is even more embarrassing. I had to give a Bachelor segment, which is worse.
Meanwhile, for my lunch, I'm having my specialty, one of my favorite lunches. We've got some avocado toast on Ezekiel bread, some grilled chicken that I air fried, and then broccoli, which actually you guys can see right here. Yes, I do indeed enjoy bird broccoli. The best kind there is, but yeah, delish.